Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I was talking, well, I got a text message from Dawn, from Just Looking Dawn, from up the road in Bangor, asking if everything was okay. I hadn't been on YouTube for a while. She's like, yeah, I haven't really had a chance to, not I haven't had a chance to do stuff, but haven't had any hauls, any pop vinyls, haven't really bought an awful lot of comic books and things like that. So I didn't really have much to show off. Now, I did get these from my good friend, Hayley the Tiny. She did me a He-Man 8-bit thing, which is pretty cool. And she also did me a Hulk 8-bit thing, which is sweet. So I just want to thank Hayley for doing these. The Hulk one, they're both class, but the Hulk one just stands out really well. So yeah. So thanks for that, Hayley. Yeah, so as you know, in my one of my videos, I got a lot of graphic novels from Mike Lacey, and I have read quite a few of them, not as many as I wanted to. So I'm going to review them and do them in order from, there's 5 of them here, so from my 5th favourite to my 1st favourite. Now, you will notice that there's bookmarks in these. One of them wasn't from Mike, not the bookmark, the book itself. There's been one that's been in my read pile for quite some time, so I hadn't got around to it. So the first one, number 5, is The Flash Rebirth. Now, like most people, I'm a big fan of the Flash TV show, and I read The Flash Move Forward, which was my first array into the Flash trades, you know, like reading stuff to do with Barry Allen and what have you. And I don't know what it was with this, but it was a case of, you know, Barry was dead and then he wasn't dead, you know, kind of the rebirth of him, and he's going through the time vortex and stuff, and things keep happening, and I just find it very hard to get to grips with. Now, I only read up to, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd part of it, and I just couldn't get it. You know, like here's a part here where it says you're the new Black Flash, and there's Superman and Flash, and I was just, it wasn't as easy to read as the Moving Forward was. That was really easy, whereas I think I was just going in a different kind of way. You know, you have like the Teen Titans Tower, you have things like that, but I don't know what it was. I just couldn't really get to grips with it. I really wanted to, and I tried, but I just couldn't get to it. So it was good. I'll probably give it a read at some other stage, but I don't know, so I just prefer to read something where I need to think an awful lot. I know that sounds really stupid, but I want to try and lose myself in the book and not have to kind of think about what happened. Number 4, this may be a shocker for some people, is Batman Year One by Frank Miller. Obviously this is an older kind of comic. Let's see whenever this came out. So I'm never good at knowing dates for things. I have no idea. They did say this somewhere, but well, it says like March 1988 there, so we'll go with that. Yeah, this is to do with like Commissioner Gordon's coming to town. I think his wife's pregnant. Barbara is there as well, but it's a case of, you find some places like you'll see here in yellow, that's like Commissioner Gordon's thought bubble, and then you see Batman thinking about things, like there's a part to do with a cat, and the cat's kind of giving him away, and it's like, oh, shut up, cat. You know, like there's a part here where Gordon is beating up on one of his fellow officers because his fellow officer is trying to say that Gordon's not good at his job and stuff. Then you see how Batman became Batman, you know, and things like that. It is a good read, but again, it's one of those ones that to's and fro's, you know, like an awful lot. The artwork is very different. You know, Frank Miller obviously has like a very unique style of telling stories. You know, this is like one of the one of the most popular Batman stories, but sadly not for me. One of the ones I've just finished there now was Iron Man Extremis, if I said that right. Obviously with Civil War coming out in slightly over a month, I wanted to read some Iron Man stories. This was one that Mike threw in, and I quite enjoyed it. It's very much the same kind of vein as Iron Man 3. Obviously you have the guy who, and then Pepper becomes like that, God, words are failing me here at the minute. Yeah, it's a kind of a case of it's almost like a super soldier serum, kind of rewrites the body. So whenever you get injured and it heals, your body processes that, whereas this kind of rebuilds that. So there's a guy who's done that, and he just starts going out wrecking things. And Tony actually has to put on the Iron Man suit. It's not a case it's all done for him. So he has to do that, and then he uses that, but tries to reprogram his body so he can press a button, kind of, and then the Iron Man thing will come onto him. But yeah, it was good. I find that Iron Man is a great character, but it's not one that if you say, name me 5 top Iron Man stories, people would be able to do. You know, whereas you could probably do that with like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, you know, things like that. I think, don't get me wrong, Iron Man's a great superhero, but he doesn't seem to have an awful lot of great stories. Same way maybe with Captain America, in my opinion. But maybe it's because I don't know a great deal of bits about these rather than the movies. Right, so my second one was one that I was really, really excited to read, which was Superman Secret Origin. I got the first issue of this from my good friend Johnny, Comic Book Geek 1, Comic Book Geek 20, Comic Book Geek 25 on Twitter. And I remember saying to you that whenever I met, let's see if I can find it here, whenever I met Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, they said that they laughed at this panel here of Clark as Superman coming down the stairs and saying that it won't catch on. But this kind of goes through Clark's childhood and his life. So you see him at the start, then you see him becoming a part of the Legion of Superheroes. You then see him moving to Metropolis and working for the Daily Planet, meeting up with Lex Luthor again. You then see him become Superman and the kind of everyone turning their backs on him. Luthor is very much, you know, like he runs Metropolis, and there's people all outside wanting to get a job with him because then you have a job for life, that kind of thing. Whenever Superman defeats him, he goes to the window and there's nobody there. So, yeah, so we've got like things like that. So some of the artwork in this is just absolutely, like that panel there. Some of the artwork in this, the storyline of this, just everything about this. This was one that I truly enjoyed because I didn't have to think that much about it. It was a case of, and again, I don't know a great deal about Superman, but this is one that after reading that issue, I really wanted to read, and was really pleased at how good it was, that I really enjoyed that. You saw, you know, like him coming up with kryptonite and things like that whenever he was a kid, and him to do with Lois and what have you, you know. But yeah, if you're wanting to get a different kind of take on the Superman franchise, this is one that I would highly recommend. Just the storyline, the art, just everything about this book is on point. And thanks, Mike. This was one I was busting a gut to read. So if I was busting a gut to read that, why wasn't that number one? Because number one was Green Arrow by Andy Diggle and Jock, apparently. I met Andy Diggle last year and got him to sign issue 1 of this. It was like a special edition one. This is kind of the same kind of story as to how the Green Arrow comes around, how Oliver Queen becomes the Green Arrow. Obviously there's different parts about it, you know. So you've got Andy Diggle, the writer, Jock, artist, David Barron, the colorist, and Gerard K. Fletcher as the letterer. But this was just fantastic. Again, this kind of chronicles how Oliver Queen is a playboy, kind of has the world at his feet, gets kind of mixed in with the wrong crowd, and whenever he's told that he doesn't need to go somewhere, he goes anywhere, and the guy shoots him and throws him over the water under the Pacific Queen, as you can see here. You think that's him, but then he gets washed up on the island. There's obviously a lot of other people on the island, and he kind of tries to break them free. He encounters this person again, and shoots an arrow into him, and then there's a big fight scene. His arm gets cracked, which you can see if you're squeamish, look away. You can see, yeah, there, she's cracking it back into place, so you see like the bone sticking through, but there's a great big battle scene at the end of it, you know, and it's just, again, it's just a really good story. Because of Arrow, I know a bit about the Green Arrow, but again, I haven't read much about the Green Arrow, so this is one that I really enjoyed reading. I know these are like, I'm not really an in-depth reviewer, because sometimes I'll read a book and then I'll forget the characters' names and things like that, so that's the reason why I wanted to do that. One book that I did pick up, which was Transformers issue 50. I saw this from Forbidden Planet for like £10, and I got it online for half price. I wanted to try and get into the Transformers, but I did not enjoy this. I did not care for this at all. You shouldn't really need to prepare yourself to jump into a book, but I just didn't really enjoy the storyline or anything about this. Just the way it was written was kind of awful, and I just didn't really enjoy it. So yes, it's been a couple of weeks, so Mike wanted to see reviews of what I like, so I'm going to kind of do it this way, you know, read a couple of books and then do it, you know, from top to bottom, and that's, or bottom to top. So yeah, that's the way it's done. So rambled on for 12 minutes. I'm going to go now, but if you watch this, what would you recommend I read next from the big pile of books that Mike sent me? And yeah, have a look at that video if you haven't before. Yes, thank you very much for watching, and until next time.